This video is about a 100K a day store that I believe he invested in that sells nappies. There's literal billionaires out there on YouTube that are giving sauce on how they were able to make it to those levels. Davey Fogarty, who's cleared over 500 million in e-com revenue. He's probably the GOAT of what we consider like branded e-commerce. Built some of the biggest brands in it, the Arie, for example, and now he's becoming an investor, etc. Let's see.
This is Amy. She made a product that revolutionized the baby wear industry and made $100,000 in just one day. She invited us to her home where she runs the entire business with 0 employees. Amy started building this idea on the very first day when her child was born. The crazy part is that she'd gone through...
Let me see, just make sure that we're recording. Okay, it is recording. Let's continue.
So many difficulties in her life. It was just another problem that she had to solve for herself.
At the end of 2010, I actually tried to take my own life.
The secret behind her business is how it solves a real life problem that millions of mums face every single day. We're going to break down why this is making her one of the fastest growing entrepreneurs in Australia.
15 million organic views.
In this video, she shares everything, how she launched her business with her community with 0 ads, how her suppliers got her biggest order wrong, as well as how anyone can build a life-changing business on what they love to do. I'm Davey Fogarty, and this is another memoir of my daily mentor students.
Growing up, I was the eldest. I had 7 brothers and sisters, and that meant that our family was very chaotic, but it also meant that we had very little money.
That's insane that he's built this massive network of people in Australia. It's just funny, like Australia is like all on the opposite side of the world, and it's just such a crazy e-commerce boom going on over there too. It makes a lot of sense, of course, but it's just wildly interesting to me. And this seems like a one product store, but obviously they have multiple products of the same product. But let's see.
Me as a family. And my dad is the one who had to bring in the cash for our family. So he worked incredibly hard in his own business, and I actually watched that business fold as well. It was really a pivotal place in my childhood, watching my dad grow a business and then have to fold that business. And I went and got a job because being the eldest of the family, it meant that I could have a little pocket money that was my own, and my parents could spend the money that they wanted to on my younger siblings. So my first job was at Spotlight. I was probably the youngest person working at Spotlight at the time, and it introduced me to a world of textiles, and really, I learned how to sew really well there. I was like, you know what? I reckon I could sew something and sell something. I went and got some wheat and I started sewing wheat bags, except I thought, what am I gonna do different in the market? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to either applique or embroider people's personal names. And it worked really well on Facebook Marketplace because people could just message me, let me know what name they would like on their wheat pack, and I would sew it for them and I would deliver it, or they would come to my house and come collect it. I remember my first...
That's so interesting. Such a small little thing like customization can just add so much buzz to a seemingly simple product.
Ever order. It was probably for like $30, and I took that $30 and I went and bought more fabric. When I was still going through high school, my family went through a breakup. My mum actually started dating my teacher. Home wasn't really a safe place anymore, and either was school, because
crazy.
My mum was with my PE teacher. And I knew that with the ambition that I had to go to uni, that I had to fast track going to uni. So I actually completed year 11 and year 12 in the same year. So which meant that I graduated high school when I was 17. The thing that happened in my life for me to make that decision very quickly, at the end of 2010, I actually tried to take my own life. It was a huge turning point.
Jeez, that's so sad.
In my life, I knew whatever I had to do it on my own. When I was 17, I packed up my shit, essentially, and I moved out and I went and lived by myself at uni. I was at uni for a little while. I fucked around, really. I was 17. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't even know how to go grocery shopping. Failed probably half my units. But it was something nice to focus on. I found a new group of friends. It gave me space to find myself. It gave me space from my family. It gave me an opportunity to look back at my life, to...
It's really common in the US, actually, for those of you that don't know, to go live at university. I did it myself. My first year of university, I went and lived there. And it's true, it does give you kind of a sense of independence that for some people it's much needed, or it helps them. For her, it was. But for some people, it actually is probably harmful. But yeah, it's actually extremely common here in the US to do that.
Discover what it is that I actually want to do. I actually decided to go into the workforce. Right next to Spotlight, where I live in my hometown, is Chemist Warehouse. I was successful at getting a position. I was a pharmacy assistant, packing stuff onto the shelves. I was ordering inventory. I was doing that for only around 3 to 4 months before I got promoted to retail manager.
This is the thing about jobs that people undervalue, is that you're basically getting paid to learn certain skills if you're smart about the jobs that you're picking. So in her case, like she just mentioned, she was doing inventory management, she was doing sales, she learned how to sew and make products, she learned stuff about products before. So all these things, even though she was doing it at some, probably like a minimum wage job or something, it helped her, I'm sure, in the future once she did decide to own her own business. So don't neglect 9-to-5 jobs or just, part-time jobs if you're someone who's struggling to, you want to build a business, but you have no cash flow or anything or skills. I think there's a big misconception. People just hate on jobs a lot, but I think jobs are an incredible way to learn skills, build discipline, and also build an income, right? Connections. There's so many things. And in the end, a business is very risky and tough. So if you have cash flow coming in, you can build your business as a side hustle, and then eventually it will overtake your business. I think that's the best path to take, as opposed to just like have no money coming in, no skills, and then try to launch a business while you don't do anything else. That's my opinion.
I was running a $100 million business for someone else. There was 124 employees. I was putting in a ton of effort. I was going to work at 4 a.m. I was getting speeding fines because I was so eager to go to work and build someone else's wealth. It wasn't until I fell pregnant and I had to think about, what am I going to do once I have this baby? I gave birth to my first baby in 2020 on my last day of work. I had a phone call at 8:45 in the morning saying, "Amy, where are you?" And I said, "I just pushed out a baby 15 minutes ago. I'm not coming back." He was 6 hours old when I had an absolute epiphany about what I was going to do and what sort of business I was going to have.
What is it?
So whilst we were still in the hospital, I had never thought about cloth nappies ever. Never even, nothing I researched, didn't even think about it. In the hospital, he was born pretty small. He was only 2.5 kilos. So I was given some disposable nappies. I was given some newborn nappies. I was given some premature nappies. Nothing worked. Absolutely nothing worked. He was leaking out of his nappies. I was asking my friends who already had babies, what's going on? Am I doing something wrong? Am I fitting this nappy wrong? I was asking the midwives. Oh, it's just what happens with disposable nappies. Babies leak. I knew how to sew. I had a 12-hour-old baby when I got home, and I started to sew nappies for him because I knew there had to be something better. I started Mimi & Co the exact same way that I started this wheat heat business that I did a couple of years prior. Sewing them at home, selling to friends and family, and selling on Facebook Marketplace. And they were coming back to me saying, "Amy, I need more. I need more for my friends. I need more for my cousins. I need more." There was absolutely no way.
That's actually so crazy. I just recently had a baby like 4 months ago. So I cannot imagine. Real quick, if you appreciate these clips and interviews that I put forward for you, then please make sure you use our Shopify link in the description to start your own Shopify business with an exclusive deal. And also make sure you check out akemulab.com for additional resources, free tools, guides, and just a lot of interesting stuff that will help your journey, even some software deals that are exclusive to akemulab.com. So make sure you do that and continue watching the video. I mean, I don't know if she was a single mom or not, but even as a mom overall, to just like be going through that, and then also at the same time building up a startup, basically, that is very impressive. This woman's really strong.
Could sew that many nappies. I was sewing probably 15 nappies a day. I knew absolutely then that I was onto something, and I knew that if I couldn't keep up with this, that this was something huge. So I actually started looking into getting someone else to make these nappies for me. That was my first ever experience with Alibaba. I went on there, I found the manufacturer that I really liked. I asked them to send me 300 units of their ready to send stock. I got that in my home and I sold it. It actually also gave me an opportunity to test the quality of what they were able to do and test their communication as well. I didn't have a website. I had a very small community around me of people that kind of knew what I was making at home. I sold these cheap nappies to people and that gave me my first $1,000. I took that $1,000 and I placed my first ever custom order on Alibaba, and it was the scariest moment of my life. At that point in time, $1,000 is a lot of money. Imagine what I could do for $1,000 in my own home or with my baby. I think the minimum order quantity was 100 pieces. I had to beg them, can I please have just 30? I want 30 of each and I only want to do like 5 prints. I promise that I will come back and I will order again. And so they did. They sent me my first 150.
That's smart. That's a little golden nugget there. Always negotiate with suppliers. I think a lot of people take, whatever the requirements of suppliers that they have on their landers, they take it as like, just rule of law or something. But in reality, if you sell yourself, they're probably going to be willing to work with you. It's like she said, she was like, you know what, I promise you if these do well, like I will come back and I know they will do well. So they were like, sure, you know what, let's do it. And obviously, imagine if they hadn't done that, they'd be kicking themselves right now.
Units. I created my Facebook page and I launched it on there with a single carousel post. And it essentially said, we're live, come buy my nappies, and we sold out that night. 150 units, my $1,000 was gone. Having built a community prior to that first launch meant that we had a very, very successful night and was able to grab that cash and do the same thing again and again. And even just on that launch night, our community grew. It doubled in that one night because people took that opportunity to buy the product that all of their friends and family were actually talking about. Our secret weapon is our product. Most nappies on the market will fit.
I love that. The secret weapon is the product. That's what people like. Word of mouth is the most powerful form of marketing out there. It really is. It's really, really important to note that.
From 5 kilos to 15 kilos. And that's fundamentally because of the way that the snaps are located on the nappy. I designed a nappy that fits from newborn to toilet training, which means that you can use the same nappy throughout your entire journey, and it is comfortable and more environmentally sustainable. I'd had this product launch, I had some cash behind me, some capital. All I needed to do now was go back to the same manufacturer and place another order, a bigger order. I sent them all my design files, my custom prints this time, which meant that we had to choose what color all the buttons were, or what we call snaps. We had to choose what color the lining was. We had all of these customizations that we had the opportunity to make now that we were gonna order their typical minimum order quantity. And I was so excited to receive our second order. My community was getting reared up. I was on pre-order at this time. We were going to have another sellout, except this time I had ordered 3 times the amount of stock. On the day that this order was supposed to be sent, I was a little bit cheeky and I said, can you send me some photos? Because
Australian people are so funny. I'm gonna be a little bit cheeky. I love it.
Because I want to show my community what this product looks like in the flesh. They sent through all these photos and I almost cried. These photos were not what I ordered at all. They had messed up all of the snap configurations and the colors. I had beautifully matched blues with blue snaps, reds with red snaps. And when I received these photos, there was blue buttons on red, there was red on green. And I said to her, this is not what I ordered. What had happened is design files that I had sent, they had repopulated into an Excel, and then they sorted that Excel by ascending order. The snap colors didn't match to our pattern colors. I looked at these and I said, you know what? I'm not going to accept them. She said to me, Amy, if you don't take these nappies with your logo, we will sell them to someone else. And I was like, what do you mean you're going to sell them to someone else? She said, we cannot take a loss like this. You either take these nappies or we sell them to someone else. I had to make a decision very quickly. So I took them. I was so upset. I was so gutted. I took my biggest ever order.
That is so messed up. That's so messed up because they're basically that would be such a low move, honestly, to do that, because I mean, I get it on their part, but at the same time, it's like you're going to basically destroy her business because other people are going to start selling this and they're going to run with it. But at the same time, she's got that community that was buying from her. It's not like she was running ads or anything. So she's probably going to make it work regardless.
That was wrong. I was very, very transparent with my community. I said to them, this is what's coming. And you know what? They absolutely loved them. And they sold them out again. They did not care that the color of the buttons were wrong. What they cared about is that we were able to bring a product that solves their problem. At that point in time, they didn't give two shits about what it looked like. This is a lesson for any new entrepreneur out there. Number one, protect yourself. Make sure you've got the right things in place with your manufacturer. Number two, and probably most importantly, is be transparent with your community and your customers. If you have something on pre-order, it's not coming in time, tell them. If you have a product that is seconds quality or different to what they've ordered or going to order, tell them, share with them. And it's the number one piece of feedback I get from my community is that I am transparent with them. I share the ups and downs. They see me cry, they see me happy, and they're with me on that journey. I then stumbled upon the biggest hack that I would recommend to any young entrepreneur just starting their business. It's organic content. We started posting on TikTok around 18 months ago. Since then, we've had around 15 million organic views, 15 million impressions that I have not had to pay for. Your customers, they want you. They want you to show what running a business is like. If you have a look at my organic content, a lot of it, I'm not even showing my product. I don't sell my product. My product sells itself through that organic content. We aired on Shark Tank in September.
She's not even selling the product sells itself. She's just showing how this thing is like integrated into her life and solving a problem.
Of last year. We have seen a huge growth in our business since then. Our first year, we did $125,000. We did $100,000 in one day last fortnight. Sometimes you have to do things that you don't want to do, but you have to do them, and you have to do them every single day. Throughout all my experiences, I have learned that the best person to solve your problem is yourself.
The best person to solve your problems is yourself. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. That is some great advice and absolutely true. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Obviously, make sure to give it a like. In the description there will be the actual original video by Davey. I've been wanting to watch this for a long time. I'm glad I did. It plants a seed in my brain, or rather continues to water the seed in my brain of how important product is, how important actually having a great, amazing problem-solving product is. Because if you have that, it doesn't matter how you ship your product. It doesn't matter how how much it costs. It doesn't matter how you advertise it, because the product will sell itself, as she mentioned. So incredible advice. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.